one of the reasons the Wii U failed was because of its lack of support from third parties, especially during its launch. Will the Switch endure the same fate?
Not but so.
No. The Switch launch has happened, and the launch was definitely successful hardware-wise.
Yeah.
Was the software enough at launch is what we are talking about today.
Well, we'll get the elephant out of the room by talking about Zelda, which was an ingenious move to launch it alongside the hardware. Keep people playing that game for months, give them everything they could want. It's the gamer's dream. They're taken care of. Everything else is kind of bonus at that part. This launch would have failed without Zelda. But even so, there are some people that aren't into the Zelda series. There are people that want to play more multiplayer games. So let's look at those.
Yes. So initially, just looking at the console itself and talking about software support, it does make it a little bit difficult not having any sort of bundle with a software included in it. So any software that you buy has to come extra. And you might as well call Breath of the Wild a pack-in title, because pretty much everyone who bought a Switch got that game immediately.
I can't wait to see that attach rate. It's going to be insane.
Absolutely crazy. So
1-2 Switch was available for Nintendo, and that is fun. It's a good tech demo. Most people are saying it should have been a pack-in, and I do think that it wears off kind of quickly. You can't really go back to the same games over and over again that much without more incentives, some overall point system. So I don't know. It's just kind of bare bones.
It is, and I think for what it is, and we can talk about 1-2 Switch all day. I think it accomplishes its purpose. $50 might be a little steep, but it is a party game. It's not meant for one person to sit down and play, or even two people to sit down and play for any amount of time.
Here's what I would have done: make it digital, give them 5 free games, and then all the rest of them are $1 each.
I like that.
People
there you go.
Keep asking me in the comments if it's worth it or not, and that's what I would have done if I was Nintendo. So there's also no virtual console at launch for the Switch, and that
does hurt it.
One of the things I really liked about the DSi is that you bought that system, and you got $20 worth of points.
Yeah.
So I remember we got WarioWare. What was it?
WarioWare.
Face Off.
Yeah, whatever. I can't remember what it's called, but it was. Isn't it DIY?
No, that was later.
That was later
in the system's life.
I can't remember.
It's the one you controlled with your face movement.
You go like this, and you move your hand with your face.
But the eShop was so barren. Like, I know Tomorrow Corp was trying to get World of Goo and Human Resource Machine and Little Inferno on there at launch, but we had Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight was good.
I have a little bit different view of, like, as far as Switch launch titles. I mean, you look at Wii U, and Wii U really didn't have much at launch.
It had New Super Mario Bros. U and Zombie U.
Did it also have Lego City Undercover, or was that shortly after?
Shortly after, I think.
So you look at those, and those are basically 3 first-party games. I mean, Zombie U.
Published.
Yeah, published by Nintendo or whatever. I see the Switch as having a good, solid software launch, and I see it as like a 3-legged stool. You have your first-party powerhouse game, being Breath of the Wild, kind of like Twilight Princess was. I couldn't even think of it. For the Wii, you have your accessible tech demo, which the Wii U had with Nintendo Land, but I didn't think Mario is a big selling point, but it's not the gamer's game. And you have that in 1-2 Switch. And then you have the third-party rounders, which kind of round it off, which the Wii U totally didn't have. And that's Bomberman, Shovel Knight, and Snipper Clips, which is
Bomberman
an indie.
Bomberman was big. Snipper Clips was awesome. It was published by Nintendo, so it almost counts as a first party. It's like a second party in that situation.
I see that, though, as kind of a successful launch because you have all your bases covered. You have the hardcore gamer, the party crowd, and you have the other things that are like, I want to stop playing Breath of the Wild for a while, or I don't have any friends over and I didn't buy Breath of the Wild, so I have these other rounders. So I see it as more of a successful launch.
Oh, and then there's Just Dance, which none of us played, but it's there.
I didn't even know that it was a launch title, so there's that as well. So.
That game got announced for NX, and that's when people were like,
"Oh, I remember that.
It must have some kind of motion control then." So
I remember that now.
Anyway, I guess I am in agreement with you now. The launch seems pretty solid. What my concern is like the next 8 weeks or so. The wait to Mario Kart seems pretty long, especially when you consider it's going to have no new tracks in that game. There are new modes. There's the DLC included from the Wii U version, but I've played those. There's some new characters, but those don't really make a difference in gameplay. There are 2 items, so that's going to be fun to play through all the tracks again with. There's new battle mode, but still, it's kind of a stopgap game. So when is ARMS coming out? That's really the next big thing we have to look forward to. So they made a big deal about delaying this console so that we would have a continuous stream of new games. So I want to be reassured of that at this point.
Yes, we have names of developers who we know are working on games.
Yeah.
But as far as like solid launch dates,
when is Skyrim coming out?
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
When is Skyrim coming out? 5 years ago, and then we're waiting forever for it on.
Hope it's
Switch.
like the updated version that they just put out.
I hope so, but I've heard.
Don't tell me that.
I've heard rumors of not it.
See, thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the crew.
Don't forget to leave your comments below. How do you think the Switch's launch was? Did it have enough titles to support a hardware launch at this time?
Yes, and how about you were looking for? So see you guys next time.
Signing out.